Okay, here we go. Now, as you can see, this one isn't broken. I just wanted to use it to demonstrate to y'all how it was done. So I'm going to go ahead and power this off. You always want to power them off before you start doing this. And power it off. Great. Next, I'm going to use your little SIM card tray tool. And we'll pop out the tray here. Set that aside for later. Alright, next thing we're going to do is we're going to hit these two pendulum screws right here, and here. One on each side of the charging port. That's a 0.8 star tip. Now you always want to make sure you hit that with some alcohol, maybe use a toothbrush to make sure you get all the gunk and grime out of that screw hole. So that way you don't end up stripping it. You strip one of these, you're in trouble. Alright, so next thing we're going to do, peekaboo. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to hit it with some heat. I'd like to use a hair dryer. I feel like it doesn't get hot enough to damage anything, and it heats it up pretty quick. So I'll fast forward past all this so you don't have to hear it. Alright, let's give it a try. So you're going to take your suction cup. I got this fancy one here. You don't necessarily have to have that one. You can have one like this. Or if you get a screen off Amazon, your kit will come with one like this. Alright, so let's go ahead and try to give that a little bit. It looks like we may have to heat it up some more. It's trying. It's a trying. We're going to go ahead and give it a little bit more heat. Alright, let's see if that did it. Kind of get close to the edge here. Give her a good push in. Alright. Now let's see what we can do. I have never had one this tough. She's trying to make it there. I don't know if y'all can see that little crack. I'm going to try to get in there. Little bitty. You want to use plastic as much as possible. You don't want to try to stick any metal to this until you get the battery unhooked. I wouldn't have to be this gentle if I wasn't trying to save this screen. It's alright, we're going to bust out this one. Sometimes, that one just doesn't want to work. We have to go back to old school. There we go. See, we're getting there now. I'll give her wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle. I've never had this hard of a time. It must be because y'all are watching. See, I can see the gap. I can see the gap there. We've worked it a bit. Let me go back to this one. I'm trying to make sure they're straight with one another. There it is. Just a little bit more. Jeez. I've never struggled this much. Never in all my days. Guess I better just hit it with some more heat. That's really in there. Normally I don't have to do it this much. Don't work this time. I'm gonna have to put some alcohol on it. There it is. So, word of advice for the future, if it don't need changed, don't mess with it. Don't try to practice on a perfectly good phone. I think I got it, but I think I'm missing the frame. Which we could definitely get that here in a bit. I've had phones do that to me before, but I actually think we got the frame. There it is. All right. Jeez. Can't perform well with you guys watching. All right, go ahead and slide it down. Lock that in. Go ahead and go to this side, get under there. Start working our way around. And you want to lift this end up when you're trying to work into the corners. You don't want to pry this way and put too much pressure on it. Just like that. You don't want to get too deep. You might accidentally clip a ribbon cable. You don't want to do that, especially for your selfie camera, because anything biometric is sistered to the motherboard, and you won't be able to use Face ID anymore to open your phone. Same thing goes for the thumbprint entry. So just try to stay on the outside. broke the screen. That's okay. If you're doing this, your screen's broken anyways, and this was just a junk phone that I got, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to disconnect this battery. You see, on these newer phones, sometimes they hook up to two separate places. So it looks like they're both going to be under this plate. So first things first, let's get under that plate. Can't really see because of the light. Those are tri-wing screws right there. So let's hit that first. Try to prop it up against something. You don't want to put too much pressure on your ribbon cables. I always want to try to keep track of your screws. Make sure they go in the right place, because some are longer than others. You don't want to make the mistake of putting one that's too long in the wrong spot. Oh, there's one hidden right back there. So make sure you get them all before you start prying too hard. Yeah, it looks like a battery cable right there. Get under that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do all three of those right there. Boom. Here's the other battery one. Knock that one off. Connect your screen. Now we need to get into your selfie camera. You really don't want to mess that one up. Let me take a look. Yeah, it looks like we got more tri-wing screws. Those tri-wing screws are a 0.6. there. There we go. Now we have completely disconnected the screen. Now if you're wanting to open a repair shop, you can still use this screen. You can send it in for a LED buyback, or they will give you store credit, or they can refurbish it for you, or they'll just give you cash. Put that all in there. Set this to the side. Now we have to remove your earpiece. That looks like it's going to be one tri-wing. Oh, two tri-wings. And two Phillips head screwdrivers. Screw heads. Right there. And there. I know it's hard to see with the lights. So we'll go ahead and get the tri-wings first. Remember that little teeny tiny one that goes right there. Put that right there. Don't want to lose that. This other tri-wing right here. Drop that right there. Now we got to switch to the Phillips. I am trying to hurry up and get this done before my wife and kids get home. Trying to do this work with a toddler is pretty difficult, so I am a little rushed. Get those out. Try to get y'all a good view. You just pop this up right here. Over, see what's going on under there. All right, that is your earpiece. That's just a little rubber piece right there, help it sit in place. It's probably glued in, but we'll go ahead and try to get her out. Oh wait, what's that right there? Remember, you're going to be very careful. You don't want to tear any ribbon cables. And you probably don't want to use something pointy like I am. But as you can see how I handled that screen, I am a professional. So, I'm going to try this at home so you don't have to. There we go. Work that one right out. Be careful. And oh, that one is a little more difficult, but I got it. So that does work well if you are careful. All right. So when you change out a phone screen, you will need to get this part. And remember how it goes in there, because sometimes that can be difficult. Now, you always want to try to get these little things right here. That looks like it is stationary. I don't have another screen to compare it to. So it does look like we got everything we needed to. So, yeah, normally you would just go ahead and pop that off. If you needed to, you use a little bit of B700 to seal it back down. I'm not gonna mess with that anymore. And you see that right there? That's all there is to it. So now, we're gonna pretend like this is our new screen. It's beautiful, perfect condition. So, we know that right there, that's gonna go to the phone. We're not worried about that right now. This piece was on top of everything. So we're gonna go ahead and work that piece right back in. Easy. And then try to turn this so I can see. And try to put that right up there where we got it from. Give her a little nudge. All right. And then of course that went over in here. You might need to add a little dab of glue. Let's see, what is that? Oh no. Need to add a little dab of glue right here to the side where this flap is gonna go. But hopefully that glue is still pretty sticky. And it does seem to grab it. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Make sure everything's got a nice little push in. Make sure it's good. Go ahead and throw that back on top of there. Just like that. Okay, now to get the screws, I'll go ahead and put the Phillips back in because that's the head I have in my screwdriver. Now they are little. You know, I had my baby knock a whole bunch of these on the ground one time, and luckily I found all of them. I definitely don't advise letting that happen. And I just started learning to do this. Well, I say just started. It's been a couple of years. And I've never broke a screen coming out. So it's a good thing I wasn't doing that for a customer, or I would have had to replace it. And I have had some customers done screen changes, done battery changes, done earpiece changes. I've fixed a couple headsets. I can fix some issues with games, you know, game slots in the Nintendo Switches and the screens on 3DSs and stuff like that. And I will try to get some videos of those up for y'all to see. Okay, so we got that connected. Go ahead and start getting this reattached to the body. Now, if you're gonna fix yours, when you get the screen, you can get the screen directly from Apple. It's a bit pricey, and then they have from what I've seen, they have a tool set that they will basically like rent to you to do whatever it is you need to do. But if you go to Amazon, you can find an aftermarket version of that screen. I've never had any issues with them, but I have heard of people saying that the screen wasn't as bright as it used to be, or you know, it didn't respond as well to touch, or there was a border on the screen, so the screen wasn't as large as it used to be. But I mean, if you're just trying to fix your phone screen, you know, just to say you have an iPhone, I think it's a really good choice. And plus, it comes with all the tools you'll need, except for, you know, a way to heat the adhesive and a screen protector. So I do think it is a good choice to go for Amazon parts. I always get mine from Amazon. I do give people an option, good, better, best option. And we moved on. Okay, I just switched tri-screws. All right. That one go right here. Got it. So little. So little. Let's just try to get her in the hole real quick. There we go. And we gotta be swift. I missed it. That's alright. There we go. A little bit of effort. Sometimes it takes a little bit, but you know, if you got a little bit of spare time, a little bit of patience, you can definitely do this yourself. If you're replacing the screen because it's broken, you don't have to worry about breaking it like I did. But this is just a spare phone that is, it's iCloud locked. I got it from a friend of mine who got it from somebody he knew. Well, it was his, but they used it and they just didn't know he didn't know the iCloud password. So unfortunately, it's a useless phone. Good for nothing but parts. I mean, definitely not the screen anymore, but you know, it's got other parts. Come on. These get a little tricky sometimes. You gotta kind of maneuver them where they need to go, but not so much with Apple, but on Android, you know, sometimes you can really mess them up if you're trying to force them. So remember to always try to get them lined up well. What am I missing here? Come on now. Get down there. Get along, little doggy. Let me see what's going on. Yeah. Yeah, it seems to be all out of the way. Okay. Well, dang. This thing's a pain in the butt. That's why when you install new batteries, you want to make sure you push these in before you actually set the battery. Which I'll do a video on a battery swap soon. I do work a lot, you know, on call 24 hours a day. I'm very lucky that I didn't get called out in the middle of this video, which, dang. I'm surprised my phone didn't ring. Sure enough, as soon as I think I'm in the clear, you know, they like to call me. It's okay. I'm trying to do, you know, maybe, start my own business and get away from this type of work and get more time with my family, because that's what it's all about. It's all about family time. If you don't get to go out and have fun with your family and make memories, you know, what are you doing it all for? You're just doing it for the man. Get in there. Jeez. Teeny tiny. I think I got her that time. Got it. Alright. So I will be doing a battery swap video on this phone. I'll also be doing a camera swap, and I will be doing an overall breakdown video of this phone as soon as I get time. I also want to do some cooking videos. I like to experiment with my cooking. Do some product reviews. Kind of want to do a little bit of everything on this page. So if you made it this far, thanks for sticking with me. Please like and subscribe. Share, spread the word. Don't want to miss the next project. Okay, so normally when you order a screen, it'll come with an adhesive sleeve, like a slip of paper with adhesive on it. You'll feed it down in here, stick it in double-sided tape, and you'll pull it off. I always like to just use this glue. Just get it glued down, clean it up afterwards. It works just as well, makes it waterproof. But seeing as how I'm going to tear into this phone again, I'm not going to worry about the glue. Chances of this thing falling in water, pretty slim. And even if it does what it does. So we got her all hooked up. Everything where it needs to be. I bent that bracket there, that's alright. We'll just give it a little bend back. Get it where it needs to go. Snap, snappity snap. You normally start at the top there. Make sure it's pushed up in there. Work your way down. Pop, pop, poppity, pop, pop. Insert your pendulum screws. Alright. I almost don't want to upload this one because I broke the screen. That's a little embarrassing. But, you're only human, so do what you do and learn from your mistakes. Hopefully I made that mistake for you and you won't make it yourself. Just once you get started, get your little pry tools under there and maybe hit it with the blow dryer again at the top. Make sure everything's nice and softened. You can also go around with some alcohol. Alright, SIM card tray. See if she'll turn back on without plugging her in. Sometimes you have to plug it in when you unhook the battery. Let's see. Does look like I'm gonna have to plug it in. I don't know why it does that, but it does. So let's see. And there it is. Alright folks, that's going to do it. Thanks for joining with me, sticking with me. Please like, share, subscribe so you don't miss out on the next project.